Hello everyone, welcome to my channel ankeecodeverse. I hope you are doing well. Today topic is localization. Before we dive into the topic of localization, I would like to encourage you to subscribe the channel. Your support motivations me to keep creating video. So let's create a project named localization demo. Once that done, we will move on to the next step and create the project. Next, let's navigate to the project target and select localization demo. From there, we will move to the info section and add the language file. I have chosen Hindi as the language for this project. Next, let's navigate to the files and search for the localization string files. Once found, let's add the file to this project. We will focus on the completing this step first before moving to the coding part. Now navigate the file and create the Swift file and add the user default extension. Firstly, we creating a save language function. This method takes a parameter name of the string represent the language name. It then saves this language name into the user default under the key of language. Moving to the getLanguage function, this method retrieves the language name from the user default using the key of language. If the language name is found, it returns as a string. If not found, it returns the empty string. This method provides a convenient way to save and retrieve language preference using user default in the Swift application. Now creating the enum that define an enumerations called app language. Each case of these enumerations represent a language option available in the application. Each case is associated with the raw value of the string which correspondent to the language code. English case has a raw value of en indicate English. Hindi case has a raw value of HI indicate Hindi. Using the enumerations allow the type safe language selection within the application, making it easier to work with the maintain language related functionality. Now create a language function that retrieve localization string based on a given key, taking into the account the user language preference stored in user defaults. It initialized variable language bundle and language code. Language bundle will hold the bundle contain the localized string and language code will store the language code retrieved from the user default. If a language code is saved in user default, language code is not an empty string. It attempts the load of corresponding bundle using the language code. If successful, it assigns the bundle to language bundle. If no language code is saved in user default, it sets the language preference to English and retrieves the language code again. Then it attempts the load the bundle using this language code. If the bundle cannot be loaded with the retrieved language code, it defaults to English. Finally, it retrieves the localized string for the given key from the bundle language bundle using the localization string method and return the localized string. This function ensures that localized strings are fetched based on the user language preference store in user default, falling back to the English if necessary. Now I define an enum called language letter which represent localized string used in the application. Each case of this enum correspond a specific keys. The interesting part here is the computed property localized which return the localized version of each string associated with its respective case. It achieves this by calling the language function, passing the raw value of the enum's case as the key to retrieve the localization string from the appropriate bundle. For example, if change language is a case of localized property will return the localized string associated with the key of change language. Similarly, the English, Hindi, and process cases it retrieve their respective localized string. Now moving to storyboard and view controller class which is already I created language change VC contain a view controller class which is responsible for managing the language change functionality in an iOS application. Go to the localization file and linking it with languages. Now simply copy the language letter enums and paste over the English file and remove the case, then add the opposite value for the new language and finish each entry with the comma. Same doing as Hindi localization. So let's see the final result that works properly and covers the major steps for localization. I hope you found it helpful and don't forget to like, share, subscribe this channel. Thanks for watching.